in this episode.
At 8 o'clock, we are following this breaking news out of San Pedro. Skyfox over this cargo ship on fire at the port of L.A. Now, according to the L.A. Fire Department, the fire is on multiple levels of this ship. It started about 6:45.
We're told that 23 people, all crew members, were on board when this started. First responders are trying to get them off the ship. No word if that has happened yet. So far, no injuries have been reported. In addition to the fire crews, we're told that hazmat experts are on the scene to monitor the air quality.
Yeah, and we do have Chelsea Edwards on her way, and we'll have a live report coming up. So Skyfox, this is a live picture. Obviously, the flames that we just saw, was that the right video? No, okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
To clarify, so that was, we slipped in some erroneous, a different fire. So this is a live look now, and it looks like, to your point, Phil, we were talking a little off camera beforehand. You see massive response, and it looks like they're getting a handle on it, because I don't see any real active flames.
Right, and the fire department, of course, has that fire boat that's hitting it with water, as well as crews on the dock. So they've been pouring water onto this for more than an hour, so it looks like most of the active flame seems to be out. But of course, there's always a risk. You don't know what's in those cargo containers, flammable, explosive. We don't know. So obviously a very dangerous situation. As you mentioned, Chelsea Edwards is on the way, so we'll be definitely going back to that one live in the coming moments.
Okay, and then the video that we did show you, though, that's related to this breaking news here.
Right. This was a 4-alarm fire in Rialto tonight. This is at an apartment complex. It's on Cactus Avenue. Apparently a 16-unit building. All were damaged or destroyed. No word on how that one started. But when firefighters got on scene, they say flames were coming out of the roof, spread through the buildings. Again, we're told there are no injuries either. But the Red Cross has been called out, as they always are, to assist those who are displaced, and they're sort of in the mop-up and investigation stage now.
Our other top story tonight at 8, tragedy strikes in the San Fernando Valley. Skyfox over Winnetka. A driver is dead after this massive tree fell right on their SUV. Good evening, everybody. You're watching LA Live News Tonight. I'm Marla Tejas.
And thanks for joining us. I'm Phil Schuman on what has become a very busy news night on this Friday. Residents on the street definitely rattled by the fall of that tree. The person, that unlucky person inside the car, pronounced dead on the scene by paramedics.
It happened on Mason Avenue between Sherman Way and Satakoy Street. That's where we find Fox 11's Ed Lascos tonight. Ed?
Marla, horrible tragedy here. This huge tree comes crashing down. Usually when they let loose, they hit parked vehicles. In this case, 2 vehicles actually driving by here on Mason. One takes an indirect blow. The vehicle is damaged. Driver's okay, but it's that second one that takes a direct hit, a deadly hit. Joe, take us quickly into this. They just reopened Mason Ave here about 5 minutes ago. Those flashing markers over there, that's part of that huge tree that they brought in the heavy equipment, cut it up. They removed that crushed vehicle. Coroner's van leaving just a little while, too. To the video, let's take a look at it from Skyfox. That's that. Look at the size of that tree, huh? The neighbors say it stood here for decades. They say it's about 200 feet tall into the air, and in mere seconds it came down in a flash of an eye, and they say when it crashed down, the whole neighborhood shook here. So you have that white Nissan SUV driving in this direction, and it takes a direct hit. The driver, as LAPD telling us, crushed inside. Bring in the heavy equipment to try to saw off the big branches to get to the cab of that SUV. You know, LAPD saying it happened so fast that the driver didn't even have a chance to swerve out of the way, didn't even have a chance to hit the brakes, but that tree, as it came down, actually carried the vehicle into another lane. Officers on the spot here. There was a passing LAPD cruiser. They got here within seconds, and I mean seconds, maybe less than a minute. They tried, I'll tell you, they tried like hell to save the driver. Listen.
The weight of the tree, you know, I tried to push the tree up a little bit, and there's no way I'd be able to do it. You know, it took 7, 8 firemen just to cut the doors off, to cut the trees off, to, you know, get saws and equipment, which obviously they have, right? Jaws of Life was used, so, you know, there's no way there's nothing we could have done further.
It was a devastating crashing sound, not like a car accident. We have a lot of car accidents on this corner, unfortunately. And I came outside and I saw it, and I was just, you know, at that point, I knew that it was a devastating incident.
A devastating incident, he says, a deadly incident. Still no ID on the driver, a man who police say lived in this area, presumably was going home. They're still trying to contact his family. But again, a good warning because they're thinking all of the rain, all the storms. We had 3 storms. Think about them in just about a week's time. This huge tree crashing down. You looked at the root base, hardly any roots. So couldn't support all of that weight. You had winds blowing through here. They've subsided. They've cut back a little, but a couple of hours ago they were blowing pretty good, and presumably they're thinking that's what brought this tree down to that deadly ending.
Ed, you know, we've just about seen and done it all, and, you know, what can you say in this situation? Just such terribly bad timing for this poor person behind the wheel there. Apparently had, like, from what it looks like and what we're hearing from you, no chance.
Yeah, exactly. That's what the officer was telling us. And again, he was the first on the scene within mere minutes. No chance at all for the driver. And he just called it an act of nature that tree would come down. But at that split second, imagine, they fall all the time. These cars going by like this. But what are the chances that as these cars go by at that exact moment, a huge monstrous tree like that is going to let loose and you take a direct hit? You know, it didn't hit the back of the vehicle or something. It came right down in the cab area, crushing that entire passenger section.
That is so sad.
Was that tree on somebody's property? Was it on the median? Do we know?
No, well, you know, it was right on the sidewalk. You see, there's Joe, give us a look past those blinking yellow lights down there. There's a couple others. There's another tree there about the same size. Neighbors say they're worried about that one because that thing, you know, God forbid, could come down. But yeah, they're on the sidewalk as they all go down.
So
yeah,
technically, this could
Marla,
be.
Sounds like you want to say something.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. So then it's a city sidewalk. So in other words, we could see.
Yes.
It's not in somebody's yard. In other words.
Right. Okay.
Because yeah, we've seen a lot of examples in the past where people-
city's property. Yeah.
We've seen stories in the past where people complained that nothing was done about dangerous trees.
Yeah, and then they try, you know, the neighbors have told us, and you've heard these stories a million times, we all have, that they try to take matters into their own hands for safety because they don't want the trees crashing down on their homes, and the city comes and slaps their hands and says, no, you can't do that. It's not on your property. So, you know, it goes back and forth, and unfortunately, like we saw today, sometimes people lose their lives.
All right, Ed, thanks for that report.
Yeah, thanks, Ed.
Unbelievable.
All right, well, we are still watching that storm. The aftermath, the cleanup and the dry out underway tonight after heavy downpours unleashed flooding, brought down trees, as we just saw, left mud in the streets and snow in the mountains. Some people were even woken up by loud thunder. Fox 11's Christina Gonzalez went to check out the storm aftermath.
Just heard the thunder all night long.
It for sure woke up everyone, right?
Did it wake you up?
Yeah, the thunder too.
Lightning, thunder, and of course, rain. Before sunrise, Caltrans already busy at flooded, low-lying intersections in Orange County. In Huntington Beach, some learning the hard way what can happen when you try to drive through.
My car is toast. The firefighter said my engine is completely cooked. My air filter is messed up, so I'm gonna have to wait for it to get towed.
In LA County, you could already see with daylight the mud coming down in Altadena, along with trees toppling over in Hacienda Heights from Skyfox, which also got Caltrans crews trying to keep up with a plethora of potholes popping up on the freeways. Have you seen the potholes?
Yes, plenty of them.
Crews are out there monitoring, trying to make these repairs as quickly as possible to keep traffic moving. And so just bring your patients with you and also drive safely.
Crews worked on a fire hydrant sheared off in Sunland by a driver who skidded on the wet road. And talking about fire hydrants, adding insult to storm injury in Tarzana, the massive amount of water, not from rain, but from another sheared fire hydrant, caused a gas station awning to collapse.
That's not gonna be repaired till like a month. That's a lot.
We're very lucky there wasn't a big fire here.
Isn't it funny how when it rains,
It pours.
in more ways than one?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you guys. See ya.
But even with the worst of the rain behind us, traffic officers saying there's a lot of saturation out there, slick roads. Be careful driving. I'm Christina Gonzalez in Tarzana, Fox 11 News.
Well, given that story we just showed you with Ed Lascos, this seems relatively mild but by comparison. But imagine waking to this, residents of an apartment complex on Kelton Ave in Palms today, finding their cars flooded 2 to 3 feet deep water in their underground parking garage from obviously the overnight showers. Car horns blared, alarms went off, about a dozen cars swamped. The LAFD was called in to help residents. Well, you know, what can they say?
The keys from the car. I rushed in to turn it off to see what's happening, but then I saw all the flood and I realized we all got a problem.
It's pretty bad. I mean, it's already an old car, and you know, some of us, that's all we got, you know, and yeah, it's pretty upsetting, but you know, hopefully something will get resolved and you know, we'll go back to our normal lives.
Well, if you have a lot of rain in a short period of time, and if there's a lot of leaves on the street that plug up the storm drains, then it's going to flood.
Firefighters use those heavy-duty pumps we've been seeing to remove the water. Scene's all clear tonight. No real estimate on the damage caused to the cars. Not clear on whether your insurance would cover
that. They all took it in stride, though. All 3 of those residents who lived there.
Yeah?
Good up. I mean, I guess what are you going to do?
Yeah, it's just a car.
But, yeah. All right.
All right.
Well, it's transportation. You need it in this city.
Yeah.
All right, Star, it's over to you. We're drying out, right?
Yes, we are drying out. We've come to the end of this wet cycle, and it's pretty good to see that most of us left behind with dry conditions as we do push into our 8 o'clock hour. Now, we do still have some precipitation coming down into or across some of our mountains, but otherwise, we're looking pretty good out there. And now we do still have a few advisories that will carry over into our weekend. We'll get into it this evening, but it is going to be a wind advisory, but also a winter storm warning that will come into our Saturday. Temperature-wise, it's still cold out there. We got 40s up in Palmdale, 59 in Burbank, 56 in Riverside, at Big Bear, 32 degrees, and Oxnard at 60. Take a look at these winds. They are getting ready to shift over from onshore to offshore. Right now, we're moving at about 3 to 7 miles per hour right now. As we get into tonight, we can expect to have partly cloudy skies, dry conditions for most of us. We may still again have some of the wet weather lingering across some of our mountains, but also our low deserts. Otherwise, temperatures in the 40s as well as the 50s for our lows. I'll be back with a look at your weekend forecast and also your holiday week forecast. Back to you.
All right, Star. We will look forward to that. Thank you. Months after a violent hate crime in Simi Valley, 3 teens have been sentenced. The attack happened just after midnight on August 1st when one group of teens assaulted another. 3 of the 5 suspects in a hate crime case pleaded guilty. Ventura County DA Eric Nazarenko stated that hate crimes will, quote, not be tolerated, saying they sought justice and accountability to reflect the seriousness of the attack. Prosecutors say the minors were part of a group who approached another group outside the Simi Valley Regal Cinema. At least 3 of the teen victims, one of whom is black, were attacked in the parking lot. Now, we've blurred video of this because the suspects and the victims are minors. One suspect white, the one who was hurt most seriously black. And they actually posted this video to social media. One teen was punched in the jaw, another pushed to the ground, stomped on, subjected to racial slurs. We spoke to one of the victims, an 18-year-old young man, about the attack just after it happened in August.
And they end up pushing my head into a trash can, and they start hitting me in the back of my head. Honestly, I don't hate those kids. I don't feel any animosity towards them. I pity them, honestly, because what they just did was, it was sick. It was evil, and they honestly just. It was not right.
That was Michael Robinson back in August. Today, the 3rd of the 3 minors charged with felony assault with hate crimes pleaded guilty. Take a look at the sentences. 240 days in a locked facility, electronic monitoring, and then they have to participate in educational programs like restorative justice and an anti-hate program from the Anti-Defamation League. I spoke to one of the victim's attorneys today, who says his client is still recovering.
When you look at the gravity of the conduct involved and the long-term damage this has done and will continue to do to my client's life. 240 days in a locked facility, thereafter with some time on electronic monitoring, just doesn't seem sufficient.
Well, that was Attorney General Tucson. He was not happy with the sentence, though he did feel that the DA's office handled this very fairly and thoroughly. He also says, though, that one of the suspects is the son of a Simi Valley police officer, and says because of that, the department did not initially conduct a full investigation. And, you know, we talked about this earlier, Marla. I spoke to the Simi Valley Police Department, left a message to ask about that allegation. So far, no response. And by the way, there are 2 other suspects not charged with hate crimes, and they still have cases pending. So
more to come.
Story we covered a lot at the time.
Right.
Apparently, the young man, you know, is recovering, and there's no doubt going to be a lawsuit, maybe against those other suspects, and probably also against the property owner there.
Okay.
Some questions about the security guard, did or did not do his job. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we do have this breaking news that we're following out of San Pedro. So take a look. This is a live look from Skyfox.
Yeah, that's the cargo ship we told you about at the top of the hour that was on fire in the port of Los Angeles. According to LA Fire, it started around 6:45.
And then this is some new information we just got from LAFD. They upgraded this to a major emergency status at 7:58. So that would be about less than 20 minutes ago. There was an explosion reportedly that knocked out power on the ship. 15 crew members have been removed. 2 people still on board. 6 are unaccounted for at this point.
So, you know, the good news during all this is that no injuries have been reported. And, of course, we'll bring you more updates as they come in. A very dramatic and dangerous scene there in the port in San Pedro. And as we mentioned, Chelsea Edwards is navigating the Friday evening traffic with her crew. And we will bring you a live report when she gets there.
And they are considering this a hazmat situation. So the hazmat team's out there as well, and air quality is an issue as well. Okay, so more to come there. Still ahead at 8, a meeting of 2 completely different minds at the White House. President Trump and incoming New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani. How it went.
Plus, Charities having a bit of a hard time keeping up with demand this early holiday season and looking for help. How you can get involved. That's next.
refuse to be a battered wife, hoping it all goes away and gets better. I'll be resigning from office with my last day being January 5th, 2026, and I look forward to seeing many of you again sometime in the future. May God bless you all, and may God bless America.
Well, that certainly caught a lot of people by surprise this afternoon. President Trump loyalist turned critic Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, as you heard, is resigning from Congress. She made the announcement on social media a few hours ago. She swept into office on the Make America Great Again platform, but tonight she accuses Mr. Trump of turning on her after she criticized him on key issues, including the release of the Epstein files. Trump recently called her, quote, a traitor, and vowed to back a primary challenger.
New York City's future mayor, self-described socialist Zoran Mamdani. He met with President Trump at the White House today. Their conversation focused on affordability and public safety, with Mamdani stressing working-class concerns and New York City's deepening housing crisis. Fox's Kevin Corke has the story.
Frankly, I've heard he's a total nut job.
We agree on a lot more than I would have thought.
And what could be politics' unlikeliest bromance?
And I appreciated the time with the president. I appreciated the conversation.
President Trump and New York City's next mayor, Zoran Mamdani, sharing glowing reviews after meeting face-to-face for the first time Friday at the White House.
I think you're going to have, hopefully, a really great mayor. The better he does, the happier I am.
Despite the president being the flag bearer of the conservative movement and Mamdani, a self-avowed democratic socialist, they pledged to find common ground on issues like affordability and public safety for America's largest city.
The meeting came back again and again to what it could look like to lift those New Yorkers out of struggle and start to deliver them a city that they could do more than just struggle to afford it, but actually start to live in it.
Mamdani's surprising victory this year came after he focused much of his campaign on rising prices and the cost of living, an area the president has sought to make a hallmark of his own administration.
Some of his ideas really are the same ideas that I have.
And despite their previous jabs at one another, the two were buddy-buddy for this one.
Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about...
That's okay. You can just say yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay. It's easier. It's easier than explaining it. I don't mind.
President Trump, a New York native, of course, even said that he'd be comfortable living there under a Mamdani administration. Incredible. Reporting in Washington, Kevin Corke, Fox News.
A familiar name in California politics jumps into the governor's race. That's Congressman Eric Swalwell. He's now in the running. He served parts of Alameda, Contra Costa counties in Congress since 2013. He also actually ran for president back in 2020, but dropped out. The Democratic congressman made the announcement last night on Jimmy Kimmel Live. He says his top priority is fighting back against President Trump and affordability issues for Californians. Wow, look at that. The field of candidates vying to replace termed-out Governor Gavin Newsom is pretty crowded. More than a dozen declared. The primary will be held on June 2nd, 2026. And as we know in California, the top two advance to the November election, regardless of political party.
All right, coming up, a major milestone for a SoCal Pygmy hippo.
Okay, born in 1973 and found in a San Diego backyard. You will not believe how old this girl turned this month. Her special celebration next.
Age is just a number, sweetheart. Don't worry about it.
Weather is sponsored by My Home Sold.
All right, as we take a live look at the West LA camera, dry skies. Star Harvey, aptly named this past week, along with our friend Adam Kruger for all of their hard work, keeping us all safe and informed. Star, what is the latest?
Well, the latest is that we are in that finale spot. You know, we've had 3 systems parade through our area. We are finally getting, or we're at the end of it. So some good news there. And as we do roll into our weekend, some of us may see the continuation of some snow in our higher elevations, but also some windy conditions. Those are the 2 things that we're trading all that rain out for. So let's bring it in here a little bit closer on our satellite and radar, just indicating that we do have that green there. That's just some clutter showing up there, but more so you do show the pinks and the purples populating over our mountains, just letting us know that that wintry precip still there. Our winter storm warning has been extended until tomorrow morning. You'll note that it is for all of our pink highlighted areas here. So our mountains, where we could see an additional 3 to 6 inches accumulated. This is going to be for elevations at 6,500 feet. And of course, out to the west of LA, we do have a wind advisory. This also goes until tomorrow, past the morning hours and into our afternoon. We could see some of those gusts kicking up across the Oxnard, Thousand Oak, Malibu area, Santa Clarita, up to about 40 miles per hour. So if you have any of those outdoor objects, or if you know someone in those high-profile vehicles, just watch out for those things. As we do get into our future cast, into the overnight hours, you'll note that pretty much dry out there. We do continue to show some of this activity remaining across our mountains, but also our low deserts. For the most part, we have dry, clear conditions here. As we move into tomorrow, we may have a mix of the sun and the clouds. But the good news is that if you had all of your plans on hold for the last week or so, you can get back at them. As we move into, I'd say, late Saturday into Sunday morning, we do have better sky conditions out there. So we are looking at wall-to-wall sunshine by the time we get to Sunday. Here's a look at those temperatures across the area. 70 degrees for tomorrow. As we move into our Sunday, dropping it down just to about 68 degrees, and that's because we do have just a fluctuation of our winds moving direction, shifting direction behind our system that has moved off to the east of us. And of course, speaking of those winds, we got to get to it. Here's a look at what we're dealing with tomorrow morning. I want you to focus on some of these contoured colors here. Just note that those are the areas that could see those winds gusting up to, again, 40 miles per hour or so. As we move into tomorrow afternoon, we should start to see things, I'd say, calming down for us. And then surely into the evening, we're looking at a better wind pattern as well for tomorrow. We'll have more details on your 7-day coming up. For now, back to you.
Thank you, Star. Coming up here in the 8 o'clock hour, looking for a way to give back this holiday season? Charities across Southern California looking to help.
Yeah, they're seeing a surge in demand this year. How you can get involved. Plus, Laura Diaz.
I'm Laura Diaz, looking for something to put you in the holiday spirit. Well, have I got something that's going to do the trick? It involves 1 million lights, in fact, millions of lights, and hot chocolate. That story coming up.
Okay, back live at 8:33 on this Friday night. Our top story, we're following breaking news out of San Pedro. Skyfox over a cargo ship that was on fire in the massive port of L.A. According to L.A. Fire, it started about 6:45 p.m.
Yeah, they call it a major emergency status. 7:58, an explosion on board knocked out power. 15 crew members have been removed. 2 still on board. 6 are unaccounted for. The mayor of L.A. just putting out a statement on X moments ago saying the city is responding to an electrical fire on a container ship. First responders are on the scene with more than 100 firefighters working to suppress the fire. Port police are working to assist the crew. And LAFD hazardous materials companies are monitoring air quality as fire suppression continues. That's from Mayor Bass.
Now, you saw the live picture of the fireboat there. During the break, I was just reading about this. They have at least 4 of these state-of-the-art fireboats, and this one can pump 38,000 gallons of water per minute on the fire.
And it's just been cranking out those
It's been going nonstop.
Yeah.
And like a large conventional fire engine might be able to pump like 2,000 gallons a minute.
Oh, wow.
So they also have like dozens of firefighters full-time duty at the port, fire suppression systems, foam. I mean, obviously, they bill it as the safest port anywhere in the country. They all train for this. So that huge response is underway right now. Our Chelsea Edwards is there and getting ready to go live for us shortly. So we'll bring her to you when we can. All right, as we head into the holidays, food pantries are still looking for more donations to keep up with already heightened demand. One nonprofit in the San Fernando Valley needs your help so it can help others. Fox 11's Nick Garcia explains.
Food. For some families, it's hard to come by. The need exacerbated by the recent government shutdown, which resulted in cuts to SNAP.
We get calls every day, and so we try to schedule them in, and then we run out of food really quickly. We've been blessed with 2 refrigerators, which right now they're both empty, so we're hoping that people will donate to us so that we can feed the community.
This humble food pantry, organized by Angelinos of Hope at Chatsworth United Methodist Church, is helping families across the valley. But it needs help from the community to stock up on donated supplies.
Shampoo, conditioner, all that stuff that we need on a daily use.
That kind of stuff you're accepting as well?
Correct. So you can see we have some here that have been donated from our event from last week.
Angelinos of Hope has also partnered with La Mano Extendida to host a Christmas event in a few weeks. 200 children are on the list to receive toys this year.
We are definitely in need of Christmas donations, usually around the ages of 2 to 15 for toy donations. That way the kids can come and enjoy and have a special Christmas.
After a difficult year for so many families, the 2 charities are trying to make food readily available and provide a little hope that tomorrow will be brighter. Nick Garcia, Fox 11 News.
Looking for some holiday magic? Enchant LA kicks off tonight.
They're calling it the world's largest outdoor Christmas light maze. It's illuminating Arcadia Santa Anita Park tonight through December 28th. Fox 11's Laura Diaz had the fun assignment tonight, kind of a check out of this holiday magic. Laura, what's it look like?
Oh, it is a feast for the eyes. Really, I think I'm kind of in a sensory overload right now, but in a good way. And you know, Phil, it was everyone from babies and strollers all the way to grandparents. Everyone seemed to be enjoying the experience. This is the first time they've had it here in LA.
Yeah, we make this to be a multi-generational event. Everyone is welcome here. We have activities like coloring, Mrs. Claus telling stories for the young kids. We have live music performances. We have the ice skating and those other adult activities.
Yes, we're getting into the Christmas spirits.
I had a good time here.
Okay. How many lights do you think there are in this place?
Good question.
100 billion.
100 million? You know what?
Billion.
100 billion. Well, there aren't 100 billion, but there are 3 million lights, according to the innovators who set it up. And they say that at every corner, something is Instagram worthy. I can't begin to tell you how many young people we saw, families taking beautiful photos with their kids or with their boyfriend or girlfriend. There's even a spot where people tend to get engaged. That's how gorgeous it is. And they've got a diamond ring floating above it. But it's not just the beauty, it's the opportunity for people to get into the holiday spirit. They have an ice skating rink, which a lot of people seem to enjoy, which doesn't go in a perfect circle. It's actually a place where you can kind of explore and almost like you're in the outdoors. So they've thought of everything that you can think of, and it's just the beautiful, beautiful presentation of the lights, that holiday feeling. But there's also great food. There's drink, alcoholic, non-alcoholic, but more than anything, I think it was the vibe of being together with family. I know that it certainly put me into the mood for the holidays, and so we're happy that we have the opportunity to share a little bit with you. We'll have much more at 10 o'clock. As far as the pricing goes, it depends really on which day of the week you go. It's less expensive if you go on weekdays. There are family packages as well, but it certainly seemed to be something that families told me that they could afford as they were walking by, and everybody was having a great time. And then later on this week, they're going to bring in professional photographers. If you come here on that night, to have your picture taken is absolutely free. It's just the cost of getting in the door. So I think they've really thought this through. So I'm going to send it back to you, to Phil and Marla, because it was really an extraordinary evening, and I didn't get to see everything. There's too much.
Did you say that you got engaged? Congratulations.
That's a good one. But I said, no, some people have stood in front of that Instagram-worthy spot, in front of that huge Christmas tree, and there is an engagement ring floating above it. So I guess he gets down on one knee, they take the picture, and away you go. So it's really magical. I think you should come and see it for yourself, and I hope that other families will get that opportunity. And if you can get in on that family pack, I think it could be reasonable during the week. So hopefully people will plan ahead. It's going to be here about a month.
Well, Laura, you've had quite the week. If my memory serves me right, you started off at the Grove, and then you're ending here because they had the tree lighting there, and now you're ending your week here. You're like Mrs. Claus, and we love it.
Oh, thank you. Yes, it's much drier here than it was on Monday. Both beautiful.
It looks
but
fantastic.
I'm more comfortable tonight.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot it was raining the other night.
Looks very cool. All right. So, back to the harsh reality of breaking news here. We've been telling you about that cargo ship fire in San Pedro, the port of L.A. Multiple first responders, LA City Fire, working that scene.
And Fox 11's Chelsea Edwards, she's there now live on scene. Chelsea, where are you in relation to the cargo ship, and what are you being told?
Yeah. So we've been a few different places trying to get a vantage point. Where it's actually docked, or the area that it's in, is protected by, there's a security gate that's there, and they wouldn't let anybody in, and you can't see anything from that side. So we drove around to somewhere called Peninsula Road, I believe. We're near the Newmark's Yacht Club, and we're kind of across the way. So take a look. You can't see the ship itself, but if you look in the distance, you can see some of the smoke. I can also see kind of an orange glow, but I'm not sure if that's from the actual fire or if that's coming from some of the lights in that area as they try to fight this fire. But we see all the choppers that are all around that area, and you can see that smoke kind of billowing up past those cranes across the way. So it's on a completely different part from where we are. We're going to try to get a better vantage point as soon as we're done with this, but we just wanted to give you a live look right now. So, as we've been talking about, this is a cargo ship. This is the Port of Los Angeles. According to the LA Fire Department, it has now been upgraded to a major emergency incident. 15 crew members have been removed, but 2 are still on board and 6 unaccounted for. Now, thankfully, again, no injuries have been reporting, but hazmat is on the scene. We're monitoring the air quality in this area. As we were driving around trying to find a place where we could see this thing, we saw a lot of fire trucks that were driving in both directions. So it seems like they're just trying to figure out where to go to really attack this thing, but they're attacking it from both the air and the ground from what we've seen so far. We know that it was some sort of an explosion on board that knocked out power to the ship. That's how it started around 6:45. But we don't know exactly what happened or how this kind of came to what it is. But it is kicking up a lot of smoke. We can see that from where we are. And this is a really big incident. Mayor Bass has just acknowledged it. She has tweeted, I believe, something, X'd something about it, just saying that she is aware of it. And we've also been talking to the fire department. They say that they are going to be making a public information officer available to us at some point. They're just trying to figure out where to stage everybody because, again, this is we're in the marina in the port. So you've got all of these kind of islands and you see all of these boats behind us. It's not easy to get to. It's not easy to access. And then, we're kind of in all these different, there's just a lot of different areas. So we're being told that they're going to give us a place that we can all meet together and start to get some real updates from the PIO momentarily. We're hoping that that's going to be in the next few minutes. But again, we do know that 6 people are unaccounted for at this point. They're calling this a major emergency. They're fighting it from the air, from the ground. Mayor Bass is made aware of this. Hazmat teams are on the scene. It sounds like it's a pretty chaotic scene over there and still searching for those 6 people who are unaccounted for.
Okay,
yeah,
so
Marla.
we're just getting this information, so this is great. We're just hearing from LAFD that they just put out on X that all crew members have been accounted for. So a huge sigh of relief because, as you just reported, 6 were unaccounted for not long ago, but now everybody has been accounted for. And you mentioned the statement that Mayor Bass put out. She's calling this an electrical fire. More than 100 firefighters on scene battling the flames. Since we've been over it, though, Chelsea, and I know you don't have a great shot of it in terms of your own eyeballs to it, but Skyfox is providing a good look at it. Phil and I haven't seen any active flames since we've been on the air since 8 o'clock. So that's good news, of course.
Well, that certainly explains then what we're seeing. So what we're seeing then is not an orange glow from the fire. That's got to be an orange glow from some of the lights that are over there. We can see the smoke from here, but we haven't seen any active flame. We haven't been able to see the ship itself. So you guys have better eyes on it than we do at this point. But we're going to get a better one.
To your point about the difficulty of access, I mean, the port complex is like thousands of acres, and then because it's so difficult to get to, that's why they have firefighters stationed there permanently 24/7. I think I read it's at least 68 or 70 that are on duty in one shift, plus the fireboats. And then when we talk about, they love the terminology, they designate it the major emergency, which indicates the seriousness of it, and also that it's a multi-agency, multi-department response, much bigger than just LAFD. So
and that makes sense that they would have to have emergency personnel here 24/7. As we were trying to find this, we had to go over a bridge, then loop back around, and then go under that bridge to get where we are right here. And if you look at the map, kind of all around where the ship is, you have to take a bridge and then some other kind of little roadways to get there. So very difficult to access. And then you're surrounded by water as well, and then these boats. So yeah, very challenging to access. It would certainly make sense that they have people there able to respond quickly, because it would take emergency personnel quite some time to actually get here and to navigate through all of this.
I'm looking at the post from LAFD right now at 8:27, so less than 20 minutes ago. The final 5 crew members were assisted off the ship. All crew members are now accounted for with no injuries reported. Media staging remains to be determined. FYI, Chelsea, they're still trying to figure that out.
No info on where the ship is from.
Yes, that will be very helpful.
In terms of where the ship is from, I'm looking, they have another link here. No, they just have directions to the actual ship itself.
Yeah.
On new, it's docked
which you can't
on New
get
Dock
to
Street.
again. That's right, and that's a base of some sort. There's security. We saw a Border Patrol agent go in there, for instance. So I'm not sure what they do there, but it's not accessible to the public or to the media. They have active security gates, and you can't even get to see the water from that address, from where it's actually docked. So I think the best way to see it is to be somewhere on an island across from it somewhere. We've thought this might be a good bet. You can see the smoke, but not quite there. We'll get a better spot for the next show.
All right, well, a very dramatic scene there, very visual, very dangerous, but again, from what we're told, everybody made it off of that ship safely, and now it's putting it out, cleaning it up, and figuring out what happened.
What it was, what caused
huge
it.
port of Los Angeles.
All right, Chelsea, we'll check with you in a bit. Thank you so much.
All right, well, the storm may be gone, but it left a lot of snow behind.
Oh, that's a pretty
shot. Look at that.
Yeah.
Take a look at the driving conditions. This is in the San Bernardino Mountains last night as the snow came down pretty much all night long. The plows were out in force. As always, those chains are required on many roadways. And we saw a lot of vehicles stranded in the snow. That always happens.
And then north on Highway 18 up to Big Bear. Look at this view. The snow and the decorated Christmas trees are giving a winter wonderland vibe. Oh, they are. A lot of material to make a snowman up there.
Nothing better than driving to Big Bear late at night and having there be a traffic jam and a snowstorm and 1,000 people trying to put on their chains who have never taken them out of the box before. Have you ever had that much fun?
What? Yeah, once, and I vowed to never do it again. I was that person. I was like, I can make it up without these chains.
Right.
And they had personnel like before you could even get past a certain point, like pull over.
You have to have somebody to buy them, and then you have to figure out how to put them on.
Oh, thank God there was some man out there. He came to my rescue because it would have been a nightmare. It wasn't a nightmare, and then it was dreamy.
That's what we like. That's why we like the sun at the beach.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right,
I
Star.
think anyone would be happy to help you, Star.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
No.
Hi.
Thank you.
Hi. I'll give you a personal forecast.
You may recognize
if you know what I
me
mean.
from the news.
Yeah. May I take a quick moment here? You're wearing red. You're wearing red. I have red on the bottom.
Yeah.
We do this on Fridays to remember everyone deployed. I appreciate you, Phil, and I appreciate you, Star.
We appreciate you for doing that.
Yeah, of course.
For sure. Thank you.
Easy thing to do.
All right, we got to move on now.
Yes.
Sorry.
Oh, man.
No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
It's some good stuff, you know. We've had back-to-back days, in fact, 8 total days of rainfall. Some of us will make it into a 9th day. Most of that will be across our mountains, and some of our deserts may see some precipitation holding on until tomorrow. For the most of us, we are done with it. So we are zooming in a little closer here to show you what's left of Storm 3. We got through Storm 1 last weekend, Storm 2 the beginning of this week, and Storm 3, we are wrapping it up. So some of us may still see some of that scattered light rain into the early parts of tomorrow, and maybe some of that snow holding on again, most of it across our higher elevations. As we do move into this weekend, we are expecting to have a shift in our winds. We have winds shifting in behind our system as it exits. So it's going to leave us behind with some gusty conditions. As we move into this weekend, we do have high pressure that is flowing in, and that high pressure is due to warm us up for portions of the weekend. But then as we do move into next week, we're also anticipating a nice little warm up. Nothing too crazy. Temperatures getting slightly above their normal. And that was not the case today. In fact, we came in at 66 degrees. Yesterday we were at 62. So there's a little bit of an increase there, especially with that system on its way out. Our normal 71 degrees. As we do push into the weekend, we should be a little bit closer to that. I went ahead and brought up some more of these rain totals the last 24 hours. Let's see what we got. It's not much compared to where we were this time last week, or the beginning of last week. As we take a look here, our Hawthorne area came in right over an inch. Long Beach as well, right over an inch. We had areas up in the San Fernando Valley like Chatsworth get really close to an inch, and then Altadena just right over that half-inch mark. Now temperatures right now 57 degrees. Skies across the LA area, downtown, we are seeing partly cloudy, so getting rid of all of that rain and drizzle out there, even the nuisance rain. Most of us have seen it go. As far as our temperatures outside of the LA area, we're at 56 in Thousand Oaks, 60 down in Manhattan Beach, 59 into Ontario, 57 in Corona. And of course, our 7-day forecast showing a beautiful weekend. We will have a mix of the sun and clouds to start our weekend. There goes that 70, so a lot closer to our normal. As we push into our Sunday, temperatures just fluctuate a little bit, so down into the upper 60s, but we'll have more sunshine when we compare it to what we'll get tomorrow for the end of our weekend. And then as we do push into our holiday week, temperatures warming up into the low to mid 70s. So it's a nice look. Back to you.
All right, very good. We're learning some more information about the actual cargo ship itself, so we'll have that still ahead. And more news ahead at 8.
But first, a preview of what's coming up when I join you in the 9 o'clock hour. Recovery and rebuilding continues in the Palisades. A look at the first fully functioning renovated home in the area. Plus, yes, cold and flu season is here. How to avoid getting sick during the holidays. That's ahead at 9. Ah, yes, the world's oldest living pygmy hippo, which, as you know, Marla, is native to the swamps of West Africa, is celebrating her 52nd birthday far from home. Her name is Hannah Shirley. She was born in 1973. She was rescued by a San Diego wildlife team back in '02 after being found living in somebody's backyard.
Yeah, those days, though, are long gone. She now lives in a 13,000 square foot managed care habitat, even has a pool and a pond. Hannah's 52nd birthday marks a huge milestone because pygmy hippos typically only lived 25 to 30 years in the wild. Look at that cake.
Well, good living in San Diego.
Yes, really. And she doesn't look so pygmy, though, right? She looks pretty big.
Well, I guess compared to a regular hippo. All right.
Oh,
we're just going to have to...
That's true.
I guess we're going to have to leave it at that.
Okay. Age is just a number, sweetheart. Don't go anywhere. We have more information about the breaking news out of the Port of LA and what we're learning about the cargo ship. We have a lot more details about where it came from and size, etc.
LA Live News Tonight continues at 9 right after the break. I hope to see you there.
across SoCal. This is LA Live News Tonight on Fox 11 Plus.
Breaking news tonight at 9. A cargo ship goes up in flames in the port of Los Angeles. More than 20 crew members on board. We're live with an update. The latest details. A massive tree in Winnetka in the San Fernando Valley suddenly falls over. It slams onto a car on the ground. Tragic results. We're there live. And the rain is moving out. So when will the sunshine return? Meteorologist Star Harvey with a preview of what's coming up.
Well, Phil, we are seeing the last of what's left of round 3. As we do move into our weekend, most of us will be under those dry conditions you're speaking of. I'll have all of those details, plus what your holiday week is looking like ahead.
Well, good evening, everyone. It's Friday. We made it. You're watching LA Live News tonight. I'm Phil Schuman. We're following breaking news out of San Pedro. Skyfox over a cargo ship, as we mentioned, on fire at the port of LA. According to LA City Fire, it started about 6:45 tonight. An explosion knocked out power on the ship. That happened just before 8. Mayor Bass getting reports and putting them out, calling an electrical fire. According to the LAFD, 23 crew members were on board. All have been accounted for. No injuries have been reported. According to VesselFinder.com, the ship named One Henry Hudson arrived 2 days ago. Fox 11's Chelsea Edwards is on the scene gathering information. We will be checking with her at 9:30. Tragedy strikes in the San Fernando Valley. Skyfox over Winnetka. A driver is killed after a massive tree just fell right on their vehicle. Residents on the street rattled by the fall. Let's go live to Fox 11's Ed Lascos. He's been out covering that story. Ed.
Phil, a horrible tragedy here, a deadly tragedy. Imagine that huge tree letting loose. It actually strikes 2 vehicles. The first one damaged, but the driver not hurt. It's that second one, a white Nissan SUV that takes a direct hit, deadly hit. Joe, take us into it real quick, will you? They finally opened up Mason Avenue again, the traffic, those flashing barriers over there, that's what's left of that huge tree. They chopped it up and they also removed the wreckage. But what a frightful scene here. To the video and a look from Skyfox down here on Mason Ave, middle of the afternoon, that huge tree. Look at the size of that thing, huh? And what's left of that white SUV underneath all of that. Neighbors here say this tree stood here for decades, and when it came crashing down, the whole neighborhood shook. And then you had the desperate attempt to try to save that man as witnesses and also LAPD, the investigators say that man didn't even have a chance to hit the brakes or swerve. This is the first responders. They have the chainsaws. They're making a desperate attempt to try to cut through that huge tree to try to help that man inside, to rescue the man, but there was nothing they could do. Well, as you talk to the first responders, they tried like hell to save this man. Listen.
The weight of the tree, I tried to push the tree up a little bit, and there's no way I'd be able to do it. It took 7, 8 firemen just to cut the doors off, to cut the trees off, to get saws and equipment, which obviously they have, right? Jaws of life was used, so there's no way there's nothing we could have done further.
It was a devastating crashing sound, not like a car accident. We have a lot of car accidents on this corner, unfortunately. And I came outside and I saw it, and I was just, at that point, I knew that it was a devastating incident.
Imagine seeing that devastating, deadly incident. Now you're looking live. Mason Ave open again. Still no ID on the man who loses his life here. LAPD saying he is in the area, lived in the area, so presumably he was going back home when all of this happened. But the officer calling it really an act of nature here. Imagine, usually, Phil, when we have these trees letting loose after all the rain, they usually hit parked vehicles, nobody hurt. But imagine the timing here as the vehicles are going by and that tree lets loose right at the moment where it comes crashing down on that white SUV.
Well, for the past week, we've been talking about the threats, the danger, mudslides, debris flow, flooding, but you never really think that much about the likelihood of something like this happening.
No, you're right. It's the last thing you'd expect, especially driving by. Mason Ave, if you're familiar with this area, Winnetka, it's a very busy thoroughfare. Look how busy it is here, even late at night, cars flying by. So at that point, middle of the afternoon, you're, I'm sure, thinking more about the traffic going by, coming up to an intersection up here. The last thing you're thinking about is this tree, and when it lets loose, it's a blink of an eye. Think about it. You don't even have any time to react or think about reacting before you're hit by this thing.
Terrible story, Ed. We'll follow up on this one, no doubt, tomorrow. Thanks. Meantime, heavy downpours, of course, unleashed the flooding, brought down trees, as you saw, that tragic result, left mud in the streets. If you like to ski, snow in the mountains. Some people, myself included, were definitely woken up by that unbelievably loud thunder. Fox 11's Christina Gonzalez checks it all out.
Just heard the thunder all night long.
It for sure woke up everyone, right?
Did it wake you up?
Yeah, the thunder too.
Lightning, thunder, and of course rain. Before sunrise, Caltrans already busy at flooded, low-lying intersections in Orange County. In Huntington Beach, some learning the hard way what can happen when you try to drive through.
My car is toast. The firefighter said my engine is completely cooked. My air filter is messed up, so I'm gonna have to wait for it to get towed.
In LA County, you could already see with daylight the mud coming down in Altadena, along with trees toppling over in Hacienda Heights from Skyfox, which also got Caltrans crews trying to keep up with a plethora of potholes popping up on the freeways. Have you seen the potholes?
Yes, plenty of them.
Crews are out there monitoring, trying to make these repairs as quickly as possible to keep traffic moving. And so just bring your patients with you and also drive safely.
Crews worked on a fire hydrant sheared off in Sunland by a driver who skidded on the wet road. And talking about fire hydrants, adding insult to storm injury in Tarzana, the massive amount of water, not from rain but from another sheared fire hydrant, caused a gas station awning to collapse.
That's not gonna be repaired till like a month. That's a lot.
We're very lucky there wasn't a big fire here.
Isn't it funny how when it rains,
It pours.
in more ways than one?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you guys. See ya.
But even with the worst of the rain behind us, traffic officers saying there's a lot of saturation out there, slick roads. Be careful driving. I'm Christina Gonzalez in Tarzana, Fox 11 News.
All right, once again, let's check in with Star Harvey. The good news is we're drying out and perhaps heating up, right?
Yes, as we move into our weekend, you know, some of us have already started to see those drier conditions. So surely as we do parade ourselves into tomorrow, a lot more of us under those drier conditions. We do still show some of that wintry mix across some of our mountains, and it should remain this way at least through the early parts of tomorrow. In fact, we do have alerts in place because of some of our winter weather or winter-like weather. We have that winter storm warning. This is going to be across some of our mountains. It does go until the early hours of tomorrow. And then we also have a wind advisory. We'll break that down a little bit later into this show here, breaking down what that means for you. As of right now, temperatures 47 up in Palmdale, so it's cold up there. Even colder across Big Bear, 32 degrees, 59 in Ontario. Santa Barbara at 51, and Oxnard, you're at 60 degrees. Here's a look into our winds. Not too bad, especially when we look locally, but up in Malibu, 23 miles per hour. We'll have more details on that 7-day coming up, but also our weather alerts. For now, Phil, back to you.
Thank you, Star. Appreciate that. LA County DA Nathan Hochman is asking a judge to drop charges against 2 police officers from Torrance who shot and killed that man we showed you right there, Christopher DeAndre Mitchell, because they thought he was reaching for a shotgun, which turned out to be an air rifle. Now, back in 2018, then DA Jackie Lacey declined to file charges, but her successor, DA George Gascon, indicted both officers in 2023 for voluntary manslaughter. Gascon's successor, DA Hochman, said he doesn't believe prosecutors could prove voluntary manslaughter at trial.
We have to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt, the highest standard in the system. And we have to effectively show that beyond a reasonable doubt, that their belief was unreasonable in order to overcome their self-defense defense and for them to be guilty of the crime in which they were charged.
Well, the judge in the case declined to make a decision on that today. Months after a violent hate crime outside a Simi Valley movie theater, 3 teens have been sentenced in the attack. It happened after midnight on August 1st. 3 of the 5 suspects in the hate crime case pleaded guilty. Ventura County's DA said hate crimes will, quote, not be tolerated, saying they sought justice and accountability to reflect the seriousness of the attack. Prosecutors say 3 minors were part of a group of 5 who approached another group of teens. This was at the Simi Valley Regal Cinema. At least one of the victims, who was black, were attacked in the parking lot. And by the way, this video is blurred because they're minors. One of the suspects, who's white, apparently posted the video on social media. That's how most of us found out about it. During the attack, one of the teens most seriously hurt spoke to us about being subjected to the beating as well as racial slurs shortly after this happened back in August.
Okay,
and they end up pushing my head into a trash can, and they start hitting me in the back of my head. Honestly, I don't hate those kids. I don't feel any animosity towards them. I pity them, honestly, because what they just did was, it was sick. It was evil, and they honestly just, it was not right.
So today, the third of the 3 minors charged with felony assault with a hate crime enhancement pled guilty. The sentences: 240 days locked in a juvenile facility, 30 days of electronic monitoring, a restorative justice program, and an anti-defamation league program about hate. The victim's attorney, who I spoke with this afternoon, said his client is still recovering.
There's not a sense of closure yet, right? Because he's continuing to heal.
Heal?
Yes.
Physically and emotionally?
Physically, emotionally. You know, he's currently under the care of a neurologist. He's going to therapy. He's trying to the best of his ability to pick up the pieces and move forward.
Attorney Tucson says the sentences should have been longer. He also says one of the suspects is a son of a Simi Valley police officer, and he believes that meant the department didn't really investigate this fully because of that. I've reached out to the Simi Valley police to ask about that allegation. So far, no response. There are 2 other suspects not charged with the hate crimes that still have cases pending. Still ahead here in the 9 o'clock hour, a meeting of 2, you might say, different minds at the White House. That's President Trump and incoming New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani. How that went. Plus, Charities having a hard time keeping up with demand. They're looking for help. How you can get involved. New York City's future mayor, self-described Democratic socialist Zohran Mamdani, met with President Trump at the White House today. Their conversation apparently focused on affordability and public safety, with Mamdani stressing that working-class people have real concerns, and it's a real crisis in terms of housing in New York City. Fox's Kevin Cork has a story of the meeting.
Frankly, I've heard he's a total nut job.
We agree on a lot more than I would have thought.
And what could be politics' unlikeliest bromance?
And I appreciated the time with the president. I appreciated the conversation.
President Trump and New York City's next mayor, Zohran Mamdani, sharing glowing reviews after meeting face-to-face for the first time Friday at the White House.
I think you're going to have, hopefully, a really great mayor. The better he does, the happier I am.
Despite the president being the flag bearer of the conservative movement and Mamdani a self-avowed democratic socialist, they pledged to find common ground on issues like affordability and public safety for America's largest city.
The meeting came back again and again to what it could look like to lift those New Yorkers out of struggle and start to deliver them a city that they could do more than just struggle to afford it, but actually start to live in it.
Mamdani's surprising victory this year came after he focused much of his campaign on rising prices and the cost of living, an area the president has sought to make a hallmark of his own administration.
Some of his ideas really are the same ideas that I have.
And despite their previous jabs at one another, the two were buddy-buddy for this one.
Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about...
That's okay. You can just say yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay. It's easier. It's easier than explaining it. I don't mind.
President Trump, a New York native, of course, even said that he'd be comfortable living there under a Mamdani administration. Incredible. Reporting in Washington, Kevin Cork, Fox News.
All right, the Trump administration is suing California over financial aid for undocumented students. The lawsuit claims that California's policies, like the DREAM Act, harm U.S. citizens because it raises their tuition costs and encourages illegal immigration. California's public universities defend the policy, saying they follow legal standards and support students brought to the U.S. as children. This is the third lawsuit filed by the Department of Justice against California in just 1 week.
Weather is sponsored by American Career College.
All right, it's been, about a minute since we heard from Star, and I say the more the merrier. There's been so much to talk about the past week. It seems like maybe we can catch our breath now for a minute.
Oh, yeah. It definitely will be a breath of fresh air moving into this weekend for most of us, because just as you said there, Phil, we have been hit with back-to-back storms. In fact, we had a total of 3. We just got done with the bulk of most of the round 3 rain activity earlier today. As you take a look here at our satellite and radar, I'm going to draw you in closer, actually, show you what's happening. This looked a lot different this time yesterday. Just 24 hours ago, we had a lot of green and yellows, and we even had some reds on there, just indicating we had anything from light to heavy downpours. As you can see, we just have some things flickering here across the screen, just letting us know that we do have a slight bit of residue left over in terms of precipitation. Now, as we do move over into this weekend, our winter storm warning, it's just letting us know that we could see an additional 3 to 6 inches of snow accumulated. This is going to be across our Riverside County mountains, but also our San Bernardino County mountains for above 6,500 feet. And then out to the west of us, so we have a wind advisory. This is going to include portions of Santa Monica, Malibu, Thousand Oaks, the San Fernando Valley, Santa Clarita, pushing over into Oxnard, portions of Ventura County, where we could see gusts get as high as 40 miles per hour. This advisory is in place until tomorrow afternoon. So if you are going to be outdoors and traveling, just make sure to play it safe in and through that area. Futurecast just letting us know that we are in store for a dry weekend, or most of us at least. Again, we do have to remember that during the early hours of tomorrow, we could still see some of that precipitation holding on out towards our mountains, but also possibly some of our low deserts. Otherwise, at LA, we are looking to remain on the dry side, some sun and cloud mix to get us through our Saturday. Fast forwarding into our Sunday, looking a lot better. We are talking wall-to-wall sunshine there. And also, this means we're going to see a warm-up. I'm getting a clap from Phil back there. Phil, I'm just as excited as you are. I do love the rain, but just a little bit. We got 8 days of it, so we do expect to roll into this weekend with much better conditions, and we deserve it. 70 for tomorrow, 68 for our Sunday. We may also have some gusty winds, again, moving through the area for at least the first half of our weekend. So if you've been indoors the last week or so, get out there and enjoy it. Like I said, we all deserve it. Phil, I will have a look at what's to come For our 7-day forecast, actually, let's just bring that up really quick to show you. As we get into our holiday week, we are expecting to have a nice little warm up with plenty of sunshine. Back to you.
Excellent. Glad that thunder is behind us. My dog is still shaking. All right, coming up, cold and flu season is here. Yes, how to avoid getting sick at holiday gatherings next. Well, we know there's no place like home for the holidays, but you might miss out a bit on Turkey Day with friends and family if you wind up getting sick. Fox's Chris DeMeo spoke to a doctor about how to dodge getting sick this holiday season.
With Thanksgiving approaching, many people might be showing gratitude for their health. But with weather getting cooler and folks planning to attend more indoor functions, doctors say the chances for catching respiratory illnesses are going up. Young children, the elderly, and those with compromised immune systems can face higher risks. But there's some strategies to help keep your body's defenses strong.
If you haven't gotten your flu vaccine, get it, as well as your COVID vaccine.
Besides staying up to date with vaccines, many doctors are stressing the importance of sticking to a solid sleep schedule, even though it can be hard if you'll be traveling a lot.
If you're feeling less tired, you're not going to be getting as sick.
And if you're taking public transportation to your holiday destinations, using hand sanitizer and wearing a face mask can add extra protection.
In case you are sitting beside someone that might be starting to cough a lot, you don't know if they're getting over an illness or coming down with an illness.
Hosts can also leave windows cracked for extra airflow and encourage their guests to frequently wash their hands. But if you or someone you know is feeling sick,
you don't want to be the reason that a whole gathering of people get sick afterwards. So if you are sick, stay home.
Meanwhile, doctors also say regular exercise could be a great way to de-stress and strengthen your immune system this season. Chris DeMeo, Fox News.
Thank you, Chris. We told you about that fire in the port. Well, there's another one, a 4-alarm fire. This is in Rialto. That kept firefighters there very busy. We have the latest on the other side of the break. Breaking news we've been following since we joined you in the 8 o'clock hour. Skyfox over San Pedro, where a cargo ship was on fire tonight. We've seen a massive response from LA City Fire to get the crew off the ship. More than 20 people have been removed. No injuries reported. Fox 11's Chelsea Edwards is live on the scene in the port with the latest. Chelsea?
Now, we've been driving around trying to find a vantage point. It's a really difficult area here with the port. You got all these different docks, different marinas. You got trains that are going around, but we found a pretty good vantage point. Take a look at this. So we're on Falcon Street. We are directly across from where this ship is burning. Look at this thing. It is huge. 1,100-foot container ship. We've now learned it's called the Harry Hudson. And I don't know if you can tell how big that is, but it just goes for, I didn't even realize it was a ship at first. We saw a lot of smoke billowing out of it. Just a couple of minutes ago, it looks like they've got kind of a handle on whatever was burning right at that point. You can see that ship in the water. They are shining a spotlight on part of that ship, and they're kind of guiding where they're pointing their hoses. This is a major operation, though. So this all started at about 6:38, excuse me. It's now been declared a major emergency. Got more than 100 firefighters firefighters currently working to combat this massive and very stubborn blaze. We also know this involves hazardous materials on that cargo ship. So very serious situation here. The good news is everybody who was on that ship who was unaccounted for, at one point there were 6 people who were unaccounted for. All of them have since been found. So that is the good news, and no injuries have been reported. Now, LA Mayor Karen Bass says it was an electrical fire on this container ship. They're working with LAFD Hazmat. They're also monitoring air quality as well, because you can imagine with hazardous materials on that ship, there's going to be an impact to air quality in this area. But we're told that everyone who is on board and who is fighting this blaze are wearing, they're specially trained, and they're wearing gear that is supposed to protect them. They're also, we're told, working to cool the outside of the ship. That's supposed to make the conditions on the boat a little bit easier for the firefighting crews there. So really huge command. At 8 o'clock, they had been instructed that no firefighting members should go below deck. So they've been fighting this, from inside the boat, from on top of the boat, from the air, from the water, from the ground. I mean, they're really utilizing everything they can. We're told 23 members were on that ship at the time that this fire broke out. Again, all of them have been found. They've all been safely assisted off the ship. And again, no injuries have been reported. Now, according to Vessel Finder, this ship, it sails under the flag of Panama, and we're being told it arrived in the port of LA on Wednesday after traveling here from Tokyo. No word exactly what's on that ship at this point. Again, it is huge, so it could be that there are a lot of different things that are on it. But again, authorities saying that there are some sort of hazardous materials that they're concerned about, and so that is why they've got such a massive response here. But again, I mean, if you look at the size of this thing, Skyfox probably has a better view of just the size of it. But just standing here, I mean, it looks like a wall. It looks like a building. It is that big. And then you can see the fire, the hoses kind of coming out to douse whatever flames they can. They're really fighting this thing hard. So, it's hard to tell. We're kind of across the channel here. We're a little ways away. You can't get close to where this ship is. That is at the port, and there's kind of a base there. You have to go through security. They're not letting anybody through. So you really can't get to it from that side. This is the closest that we can get. And so, there's still a lot that we need to learn here. We need to learn more about how this started, exactly what's on the ship, and what they're planning on doing. Also, how bad this fire is. We don't know if it's multiple levels of the ship, if it's just affecting. We just need more information. We're being told that that authorities, the LA County or the fire department, is going to set up some sort of a media staging area where they're going to give us some official updates. We have yet to hear exactly where that staging area is, but again, we're hoping to get more information soon. But the good news tonight: all crew members who were on board, they have been accounted for. Everybody is safe. No one was injured, but they still got quite a fight ahead of them. Phil?
All right, Chelsea Edwards reporting live from the Port of Los Angeles. We'll be going back to you, I'm sure, when you join us on the Fox 11 News at 10. Thank you for that. More breaking news tonight. This is a 4-alarm fire in Rialto. It was at an apartment complex in the 1000 block of Cactus Ave. All 16 units damaged or destroyed. Flames coming from the roof that spread through the attic. No injuries, fortunately, there. The Red Cross is out to help those who have been displaced. Earlier today, Skyfox over the first rebuilt home in the Palisades since the deadly January wildfires. The house received its CO, the certificate of occupancy, apparently today or this week. That's the final step in the rebuilding process, allowing people to actually move in. Now, according to the LA Times, the company Thomas James Homes built the home, plans to put up 100 more next year. We're told that more than 340 rebuilding projects have begun across the Palisades area. And LA County is investing money to rebuild Altadena's fire-damaged parks. Today, Supervisor Catherine Barger said $60 million has been secured for restoration, but over $190 million is needed to fully rebuild the parks. Residents say, of course, the parks were vital for sports, festivals, community events. The supervisor is urging nonprofits, businesses, donors to help keep these spaces alive for future generations. Well, a live look at the bright lights of the Santa Monica Pier tonight, where no doubt folks will be heading tomorrow to enjoy some sunshine after days of rain. But Yes, LA public health officials declaring an ocean water quality advisory because of potentially high bacteria levels in the area. Seems like it always happens there. Ocean and bay recreational waters, especially near storm drains, creeks, and rivers, can become contaminated with trash and chemicals from city streets after rainfall. That advisory is in effect all weekend until noon on Monday. Star, that is a long time for that. But it's something to be concerned about. I don't know if people are really rushing to go in the water right now anyway. I don't think it's really warm enough, but you might.
Phil, when I'm in here on the weekends, you'd be surprised at, seeing people flock out to our shorelines no matter what the weather is like. So hopefully everyone does take that advisory serious, and note that we do have two other advisories in place. It's a wind advisory across the highlighted beige area. So we have Santa Clarita, parts of Ventura County in there, stretching all the way through the Malibu area and portions of Santa Monica as well. Just letting us know that our gusts could get as high as 40 miles per hour, pushing into tomorrow afternoon. It expires at 2 p.m. We also have a winter weather advisory. This is going to be across both Riverside and our San Bernardino County mountains. And that advisory just letting us know that we could see an additional 3 to 6 inches of snow accumulated across the area. It does expire tomorrow morning. Look at this beautiful radar here. A lot different than what we saw yesterday this time. So we're clearing out. We may still see some of that scattered light shower activity for some of us into tomorrow morning. Most of us are remaining on the drier side. Now, what we will be dealing with are some pretty gusty winds for some of the area. Behind that system, we're switching from an onshore to an offshore flow, so that will create some gusty winds for some of us as we push into this weekend, but also our holiday week. We are looking at high pressure moving in, and that's going to command our temperatures, and it's going to place us slightly above our normal. Not the case for today. Today we hit 66 degrees, so we're inching closer to that normal of 71. Yesterday we were at 62, and as we do push into this weekend, we are expecting that we'll be a lot closer to that 70 mark. We've seen 3 rain events, 3 storm events move through here in the last week, and so let's talk about rain totals in the last 24 hours. At Hawthorne, you've seen over an inch there, bringing you all the way down to Malibu Hills. We saw 0.81 inches, and Altadena did get over half an inch in the last 12 hours. And of course, if we look at LA right now, we're at 54 degrees under partly cloudy skies, winds moving at about 5 miles per hour. We do have some really chilly spots on the map, especially across our mountains. They're in the 30s, but most of us temperatures right now locally in the 50s as well as the 60s. We'll be dropping down into the 50s for our lows, but we do make a beautiful rebound getting into the start of our weekend. Remember, our normal high is 71. Tomorrow we're going for 70 as we push into Sunday. More sunshine out there than what we'll see tomorrow, but temperatures do fluctuate, dropping down into the upper 60s. And then as we do head into our holiday, we can expect sunshine, dry conditions, Phil, and temperatures going above that normal number. So it's going to be a good holiday. Back to you.
All right, I'm going to hold you to that. Developing tonight, the Supreme Court blocks a lower court ruling that found Texas's 2026 congressional redistricting plan racially discriminates. The order will remain in place for the next few days while the court considers whether to allow the new map that would shore up 5 GOP seats in the House. The proposed redistricting map, of course, sparked California's push to redraw maps in favor of Democrats. Prop 50, remember that, was approved by voters.
I refuse to be a battered wife, hoping it all goes away and gets better. I'll be resigning from office with my last day being January 5th, 2026. And I look forward to seeing many of you again sometime in the future. May God bless you all, and may God bless America.
Well, that was a surprise this afternoon. President Trump loyalist turned critic, Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, resigns from Congress. That was an announcement made on social media this afternoon. She was elected largely on the MAGA, Make America Great Again platform, but tonight she's accusing President Trump of turning on her because she criticized him on things like the release of the Epstein files. He called her, in fact, a traitor and vowed to back a primary challenger. All right, ahead of the busiest holiday travel period of the year, air traffic controllers and technicians who worked every day of that 43-day government shutdown without pay are being given $10,000 cash bonuses. Fox Mike's Emmanuel has the story.
Airports across the country are already in the throes of the Thanksgiving holiday period travel crush. In Atlanta Friday, officials project more than 4 million people will fly between now and December 2nd.
It's the Super Bowl period for the airports.
But it wasn't until just this past Monday when the FAA and TSA fully staffed back up after staffing shortages from the government shutdown. A Points Guide travel poll showed a large population of the country started changing holiday travel plans as a result.
About 40% of people were either canceling, rescheduling, thinking about canceling Thanksgiving or Christmas flights.
It also didn't help that flight restrictions had also been temporarily put into place across 40 major U.S. airports.
Our job is to make sure people are safe.
Now, with airports returning to business as normal, the FAA Friday announced $10,000 bonuses will go to air traffic controllers and technicians who had perfect attendance during the shutdown. This following last week's announcement that the TSA was doing the same and awarding big bonuses to agents who displayed, quote, exemplary service.
For stepping up, taking on extra shifts, for showing up each and every day, for serving the American people.
The FAA says of the 13,000 air traffic controllers, many who worked without pay during the shutdown, just 776 controllers and technicians qualify for the bonuses. In Washington, Mike Emmanuel, Fox News.
Well, you heard Mike use that figure of 13,000. Since he filed that report, Fox has learned that the full air traffic workforce is about 20,000. So that makes the percentage of those who qualified for the bonus even smaller. All right, time to talk a little sports next as the Rams prepare to host their mental health awareness game on Sunday. A 10-year NFL veteran joins us with a look at the challenge that today's players face and what it takes to break the stigma around mental health treatment. Plus, yes, Thanksgiving, just days away. Many families still worried about just the basics, like putting food on their table, what local pantries are doing to meet the need, and how you can help. New tonight, thousands of families in the OC received food assistance at a major drive there. It was a drive-through event, actually. Second Harvest Food Bank and the OC Food Bank teamed up with Cal Optima Health to distribute food to up to 2,000 Cal Optima member households. This event was held at Miles Square Regional Park in Fountain Valley to help families still struggling after the recent government shutdowns and delays in benefits.
This is critically important right now as we enter the holiday season. We just weathered a government shutdown of 43 days, which affected a lot of SNAP beneficiaries in our county. And of course, we know that the economic situation right now, with the cost of food being high and inflation affecting everything from rent and mortgages and fuel, a lot of families are going to need a lot of help going into this season.
So if you or someone you know needs assistance, you can visit 211oc.org. You can call 211 or text 898-211. A lot of good organizations helping people in need during the holiday season. A nonprofit in the San Fernando Valley is also asking for some help as we ease into the holidays. As Fox 11's Nick Garcia reports, food pantries are looking for more donations to keep up with the already high demand.
Food. For some families, it's hard to come by. The need exacerbated by the recent government shutdown, which resulted in cuts to SNAP.
We get calls every day, and so we try to schedule them in, and then we run out of food really quickly. We've been blessed with 2 refrigerators, which right now they're both empty, so we're hoping that people will donate to us so that we can feed the community.
This humble food pantry, organized by Angelinos of Hope at Chatsworth United Methodist Church, is helping families across the valley. But it needs help from the community to stock up on donated supplies.
Shampoo, conditioner, all that stuff that we need on a daily use.
That kind of stuff you're accepting as well?
Correct. So you can see we have some here that have been donated from our event from last week.
Angelinos of Hope has also partnered with La Mano Extendida to host a Christmas event in a few weeks. 200 children are on the list to receive toys this year.
We are definitely in need of Christmas donations, usually around the ages of 2 to 15 for toy donations. That way the kids can come and enjoy and have a special Christmas.
After a difficult year for so many families, the 2 charities are trying to make food readily available and provide a little hope that tomorrow will be brighter. Nick Garcia, Fox 11 News.
Thank you, Nick. Lots of ways to help during the holiday season, so please do. All right, the Rams making mental health a priority this Sunday with their Raise Awareness for Mental Health game. It's at SoFi Sunday night. Tonight at 6 p.m., former NFL safety and mental health advocate Nick Ferguson joined Marla Tejas with an inside look at what players really face.
Good to have you. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
You consider yourself a Denver Broncos player for life, right?
Well, I would say that for sure.
Yeah, okay, good. You played in the NFL for 10 years.
Yeah.
Why is this issue of mental health so important to you?
Well, for one, I'm tired of seeing my guys in their lives. And there's been a lot of trauma because inside the locker room with guys, we don't really talk about our feelings. Now, we go out there and we use our emotions to play physically, but when it comes to our emotions inside, we don't want to share it. I've been there myself. I've had 2 knee surgeries. And when you get injured, you're kind of pushed to the side a little. It can be really dark and alone when you're going through your rehab. And I've had those moments where I didn't think that my career was going to last because when you're injured, someone else is playing, watching you, and the biggest thing about being a player is availability. And if you're not on the field, someone else can take your job. So for me, it was very emotional for me, and I internalized a lot of things. But there was options, and there was ways that I kind of helped myself. And this book here, Dianetics, The Modern Science of Mental Health by L. Ron Hubbard, it helped me out tremendously. And it helped me understand we have a reactive mind where we store our pain and our loss and our trauma. And upon learning that, it allowed me to kind of understand myself, but not only be a better player, be a husband, and be a better friend.
Get into that a little deeper, though, because I'm curious how that specifically has helped you. I mean, we're talking about the culture of the NFL.
Yeah.
It's very macho. I mean, it's such a physical game.
It is.
I mean, you take your aggressions out on the field. Your job is to physically tackle players. So when you're, let me just get back to that. How has the culture changed, that macho culture? Has it gotten better in the locker room?
It has, but it's not where it needs to be. This is why we want to normalize the conversation.
Okay.
So guys can tell their teammates, or even if you're a current player, hey, these are the things that I've gone through. Because especially when you look at pro sports, it's normally our sport, being football, where we have the most traumatic issues after your careers are over. So if we tell guys it's okay to know that you're going through certain things, but also allow them to know that there are other options out there to really help them move past whatever they're dealing with.
When you say that this helps with your reactive mind, what does that mean?
Well, the reactive mind is a place where we store a lot of our pain, trauma, and our loss. And sometimes when we are forced due to kind of emotional type of situations, a lot of anger and stress come out. But if you understand that area, the why, where it comes from, it gives you an opportunity to be able to maintain it and be more calm. You listen, I've been there myself with my knee injury, and my kids would tell you, like, sometimes, like, dad wasn't where he needed to be. So for me, this became my go-to as far as being able to help me mentally calm down, understand where these issues were coming from. Then now I can be a great husband and dad to my kids.
So you really get to the root cause of where this aggression is coming from.
You know what it's like? When I was a player, you had to understand the why when the coach was telling you a particular play, a scheme. So this helps understand the why. When you understand the why, then you can be more proactive than reactive.
Okay, so obviously you think that these raising mental health around the NFL and the Rams having this first game under this umbrella of raising mental health awareness is a great thing.
Oh, it's absolutely a great thing, because once again, not just football players, right? It's everyday people having these issues that they're dealing with. So basically by the Rams doing this and me coming on, it's letting everyone know we're the same, right? We may look the same, we may have different occupations, but we all have issues. We all have a reactive mind. If we understand that, we can move past it.
What would you tell somebody who's watching, who's struggling tonight? And they don't have to be a football player, to your point, because we all have our internal struggles.
Right, it doesn't make a difference, football player, regular average day Joe, no matter what religion you are. It's the fact that being able to talk to someone, share with the fact of what you are going through, to let people know, hey, listen, you're not alone. That's the biggest thing, letting people know you're not alone, because we're in this fight together.
Well, if you or someone you know is in need of help, as you know, you can call or text 988. That gets you to the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. That is open 24/7, and you can call about any issue. Coming up here, Olympic and Paralympic athletes helping clean up waterways in Long Beach ahead of the 2028 Games. You can't believe how much trash they cleared away. Next. Back live with our breaking news story, the big story of the evening, a massive fire on a container ship in the port of Long Beach in San Pedro. This is a live look from Skyfox. You can see the fireboats still pouring thousands of gallons of water on that ship. The one Henry Hudson is flagged out of Panama with about 20,000 containers. It's called a ULCV, an ultra-large container vessel. The good news is that so far no injuries reported. 23 crew members safely evacuated from that ship as a massive response of what the LA Fire Department terms a major emergency response continues. At the top of the hour, we will have another live report from our Chelsea Edwards as we join you on Fox 11. All right, earlier this week, the city of Long Beach teamed up with the Ocean Conservancy, Team USA athletes, and 74 volunteers to clean Alamitos Beach. They collected almost 800 pounds of trash. The effort part of Protect Where We Play initiative. Thanks for watching LA Live News Tonight, our 10 p.m. newscast, just minutes away on